Hello, this is Jefferson Aldridge. I'm here with King Ashoka from the S.L.A.P movement. We're here at Giving is Good today, and what we're doing is we have been talking to Ashoka about some of the things that they do. He does a lot of interesting things. The S.L.A.P movement is involved with a bunch of different projects. And he was brought to me by a friend of mine, and I heard about him. And I've been trying to get him on for a while, but he travels a lot, and he's busy, and he's always doing positive things and helping people. But he was kind enough to come in today so that we can get his interview on camera so that we can start to figure out and unpack and tell people a little bit about what S.L.A.P is doing, what it means, what the future for the S.L.A.P movement is. You know, and I think this is going to be a fun interview just because based on your energy and some of the things that I've heard about, artists. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All things can be possible. You know, you never know what an artist is going to do. Right? It's that creativity.
This is true.
So what an artist can come up with, sometimes, you just don't ever see it coming.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've had some artists in, and we've done some interviews, with some really interesting people. In my last artist that came in, is such a crazy interview because they're creative.
Yeah.
They're creative people. They have this different thought process. So I was always very interested to get you in. I want people to hear about some of the things you guys do. Tell people what S.L.A.P means.
Well, first, let me say thank you for having me.
Dude, absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. So the short version, and we can get in the long version if we need to,
Okay.
but the short version is S.L.A.P is a local support system for all things positive.
Okay.
If you are about that positivity, I am down to come slap you. Right? So it's an acronym. It's an acronym, and it has different meanings to the acronym. The S.L.A.P that I'm wearing right now says support local artists, please.
Okay.
And that's where it all originated for me because I'm one of those crazy artist guys with the wild thoughts. And I put a lot of time, blood, sweat, and tears, and all the cliche-isms that go into a project from an artist, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm a musical artist,
Okay.
Hip hop music, but I also do graphics. I'm an artist in every sense of the word: graphics, videography, cinematography, all that stuff.
Okay.
And so S.L.A.P came about because I didn't feel like there was enough support amongst other artists in the Metroplex. I would go to some shows, and Dallas is very cliquish, right? So I would come with a certain amount of people, and other artists would come with their people. But what I noticed was that there wasn't enough support when artists were performing. It might be my people at the front while their people are over there at the bar waiting for their people to come on the stage and all that. Mm-hmm. When in my opinion, it should be like, okay, we're all going out to see great artists. Let's all go out and support and do that. And so because there wasn't enough of that, I said, well, it started off with just support local artists. Mm-hmm. And then I just put the P on it because I wanted to be nice. Please. You know what I'm saying? You got to be nice. Right? And so then when please support local artists. Please. Right? So
That's
then,
funny.
So my sister, God rest her soul, she passed from cancer, breast cancer, a while back. And she was one of my biggest fans. And so she was able to come and see my release party. We did it at the Granada Theater years ago, mm-hmm. Historic theater. Mm-hmm. And so that was the last show she got to see me perform in, right? And then when she passed, I kind of felt, I was kind of frustrated because I felt like I put so much time and the album was really good album, right? And she didn't get a chance to see me reach that pinnacle of success. And so it just came to me one day about like what we need to do as a community, an artistic community, to support one another. We really mm-hmm. need to get out there. And it's all about unity, unification and togetherness, right? So I came up with the idea for S.L.A.P, and so I printed up 10 shirts, and I said, look, I'm gonna put these shirts on my guys. We're just gonna go out and kick it, right? We're just gonna go out, have a good time. And although the venue that we went in, everybody knows everybody, I think we only had 5 people in S.L.A.P shirts at the time. I had 5 extras. And so we were the largest unified majority in the club. So everybody else that we knew or didn't know, once we walked into the club, they were like, who are those guys? Because we got these S.L.A.P shirts on, right? And everybody's like, what does that mean?
What's that about?
What does it mean? If S.L.A.P is real big and they kind of got to get up on you to see support local artists, please.
Yeah.
And then when they see that, it's like, oh, yeah. Right?
Why don't we?
Right. So then automatically we got people kind of wanting to be involved with what we're doing, right? So our protocol became, okay, now they're paying attention. So when we come in these venues, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go beeline to the front of the stage. And whoever's on that stage, give them the energy. Because I know me as an artist, I feed off the energy of the crowd.
Sure.
So when they come in, when we go in there and we're like giving them, you can see their eyes light up. And I'm like, wow, these guys really support what we're doing. This is great, right? And so automatically we got another slapper right there. Like, where can I get one of those shirts? How can I be down? Well, here's a shirt, we give you a shirt.
Community.
Yeah, and then won't you come out with us and help us slap somebody else? And I've never had so many people say, hey man, when you gonna come slap me? Right?
Right.
So I'll be right over. So it was cool. So in that journey to just rally the troops to get artists to support artists and appreciate the craft of whatever your art form it is, visual arts, culinary arts, musical arts, performing arts, whatever it is, we want to come slap you. I began to understand that there was other things that needed help with, like the homeless situation, right? So one of my friends was like, yo, King, we need to do something for the homeless. And right, so we were like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? Well, we need to go under the bridge. We don't wanna just assume that we know what the homeless want. And the specific time, remember, what was it called? The Tent City.
Yeah.
Tent City. It was like 5 city blocks under the bridge off of 175, right? It was crazy. It was crazy. And so me and one of my boys, we went under the bridge late at night one time and we called us up looking for the mayor, right? Up under Tent City. Because we didn't want to just go there and just say, and just drop stuff off or like we knew what they wanted. We wanted to go and find out. So we went and it was a cold period and they was like, yo, we need heat. And at the time they were building campfires on the ground, right? And we were here, I would get wind. I have a couple of police officers on my board and so we get wind, we get official words and stuff. And that the fire department had kind of an issue with that because some of the embers had
catch on fire.
Yeah, and they'll burn the tents down. They're really flammable, as I understand. So we went out. I think it was in Royce City, and we went and bought a bunch of these the 50-gallon drums, right? And we spray painted S.L.A.P all over. We poked holes in them for air and all
air
that.
ventilation. So
and then we went and got with a wood company off of, I don't know, they had like a big mountain of wood, right? And then we said, this is what we're doing. I was like, yeah, take as much as you want. So it turned into helping heat the homeless, right? That was our event. I don't really know when the events are coming. They just come. Like,
they pop up.
We got to do it, right? So then was born Stop Local Area Poverty. Stop Local Area Poverty. That's S.L.A.P.
S.L.A.P turned into something else.
Yeah, so it did. Just like we were talking with the fisher of men, right? They fall into the category of survival, leadership, and preparation.
Okay.
Right. So it's taken us down the journey of understanding the different areas of importance in my eyes that really need support, which is the homelessness, artistic expression, education, health and wellness. These are really key things that we got to get together to like have a long,
to make people's lives better.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Right. So are people coming to you with ideas, people in the community going, hey, look, health and wellness. I mean, that's a big category. You know, I mean, that can mean a lot of different things, you know. But are people coming to you and saying, hey, will S.L.A.P do this?
Yes.
You know? And then you go, well,
Let me see. What do I
let me
got?
see how many people can I find to do that? You know?
Yeah. That really is what it is. So, like, for instance, annually we do a toy drive for the Bethlehem Center in South Dallas, right? So there's like 65 or a little bit over 65 families that go to the Bethlehem Center in South Dallas. And one of my friends came to me, and because I think one of her kids was going there and they didn't have anything to do for Christmas, right? So whenever the Christmas would come, they would do like a dinner or a dinner or a breakfast, whichever made more sense for them. But there was no event attached to it. That was it. So we came up with the idea of it was the Global Takeover. S.L.A.P presents the Global Takeover Annual Christmas Toy Drive. So Global Takeover is a company that did what you just said. Hey, King, what can we do? What are we doing?
How can we get involved?
How can we help? Right.
Yeah.
And so we said, well, let's do this. And so the concept is, now all artists, they want a stage. They want somewhere to perform, right? So we provide this place for them to perform. And in order to perform, you got to bring toys. You got to bring us at least $20 worth of toys, right? And bring your receipt. We want the new toys, okay? Not no used toys. New toys only. Bring your receipt.
Don't just steal it out of the house.
Right.
You know,
don't
just take
I'm
it,
not using this one.
Yeah. Don't need that one anymore.
No dusty teddy bears. We did get a couple of dusty teddy bears. We were like, all right, come on. So in order to perform, you got to bring toys.
Yeah.
In order to get in, toys. And if you just happen to be driving by and saw one, whatever.
And you want to drop off some toys.
Right, and you want to bring some toys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, some of the people who just like really legitly just stumbled upon that, we'll let them in for some money. You give them some money, we'll let you in. But the toys is the main thing. And so everybody's out there knowing that we're raising toys, money, whatever we can for the Bethlehem Center. And that's cool. That's cool. It's a great time. Everybody gets down, does their thing. But the most gratifying part of that whole experience is taking the toys,
delivering the toys
to the Bethlehem Center the next morning. These kids are like so thankful. The parents are so thankful.
Where do all the kids and the parents come from? How do they know about it?
Well,
how does the Bethlehem Center reach out to people? You know what I'm saying?
Well, just because the kids go there. So the Bethlehem Center is like it's a school. It's a school for little kids up to, I think, like 5 to 7 maybe. Right? And so, yeah, they go there. So they're just constantly promoting it throughout the year.
Okay.
Right? So the last one, I'm tough. I'm like 6'4", 250. You know what I'm saying? You can't really tell me a whole lot, but we had toys lined up from one end of the gym all the way to the other end one time, and it was like they would come up and start crying, yo. And so I started the whole thing, the CBC, right? And I'm the president of the CBC.
CBC.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's the crybaby clique. Okay.
Yeah. Are you saying you shed a tear?
I shed several. I shed a river. I had to run off and go get my shades and put them on. And it was like a straight up cry, like maybe somebody punched me in the gut type cry.
It's funny.
Yeah, it was. But it's so gratifying, man. And it's such a great thing to be able to be up there with my friends and my family and to give back and to just be appreciated like that. It was a great thing. Yeah.
And you were given, though.
Yeah.
You were given.
I was given.
Probably you were given to a bunch of kids and families that probably didn't have the ability to get those things for their kids. So how thankful were they? You know what I'm saying?
Man,
you got to experience that.
Super thankful. I got to experience that. My whole team got to experience that. My wife got to experience that because, I started the S.L.A.P movement, right? But I can't do any of what gets done without the people around to help do it. So that's important. I guess I always got to be a front guy, and I'll be the front guy. Hey, it's me, King Ashoka, a.k.a. Captain S.L.A.P. But
Captain S.L.A.P. I like it.
But I got to shout out to everybody that that helps with everything. Yeah.
What kind of goals does S.L.A.P have? I mean, I know you're working on some new things. What is your next category? What are you focused on? Where do you think S.L.A.P's heading right now?
Wow. Okay, that's a good one. You ready?
Sure.
Got time?
Yep.
Okay. So right now, there's a lot of blight in South Dallas. There's a lot of unfavorable stuff going on in South Dallas, right?
Sure.
And so one of the things that we're focusing on is kind of zeroing in on those things and trying to understand how it is that we could be of best service. So every Saturday right now, we've partnered with another nonprofit called Making It Count. Shout out Auntie Rhonda. She is an amazing person who, without fail, rain, sleet, shine, every Saturday she's out there on her personal piece of property that she purchased after going through an amazing recovery story. But on this property, a lot of the less fortunate, they gather there every Saturday with the understanding that we're going to be there and we're going to feed them, and we have showers, and
Wow.
we have the tent showers, the camping showers. We got showers and food, and sometimes we have the people that come out with the free cell phones, and then we have a bunch of clothes for them, and so doing that every Saturday kind of puts a different spin, put a different mind frame on things, because you actually get an opportunity to fellowship with the people. And a lot of people, even when we were, I'm skipping around a little bit because it all has one to do with the other, but while we were under the bridge, a lot of the people that we got an opportunity to kind of fellowship with, because we were there from 9 in the morning to almost 10 something at night, because we brought the speakers, we brought our barbecue grills, we made it a party. Mm-hmm. And we got to understand that the people that we just drive by and sometimes look at damn, what's their story, or wow, I hope
they're scared of them.
Right.
Yeah. They're all humans.
They're humans, and they have an amazing story. And sometimes all they need is that network that we talked about. Yeah. If there's something I can do for you to help you out, and it's just a phone call, I'm going to make the phone call. Mm-hmm. Right. And so that was a beautiful thing. And so being there every Saturday shows, it kind of sheds a light on that. And, it lets you know that it drives the point home that people are people. And so we're working on that with Auntie Rhonda and Making It Count. But then I'm also learning a lot about these opportunity zones and how we can take property and change it and flip it to something that is beneficial to the community, that can be self-sustaining, self-sufficient for the community. I'm looking into a hydroponic growing systems for vegetables, and I got an opportunity to tour a facility called Eden Green, which is they're vertically growing all types of amazing vegetables, and you can yield 40 acres worth of food off of 1 acre's worth of this system.
Yeah.
24/7.
You can feed a lot of people.
Right? You don't have to wait for the ground to do what it naturally does. You can just keep going. So stuff like that. So we're looking into a system like that and putting it next to really self-sufficient housing, small housing that, so we could, I call it my little utopia. We want to create this, a destination spot to where it's the less fortunate who have gone through what they need to go through to understand where they need to be. Once you go to that transformation, the fella here just a second ago, I forget his name, but he said he used to be one of those guys, and he went through a transformation, and now look at how eloquently his son speaks, and how dope that connection between them is. So he's arrived, and so once you arrive at that place, you can really guide people to go to other places.
Would you say you are, as I'm starting to think about, the way you're talking about the things that you're trying to do, it sounds like you are helping homeless people trying to figure out a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
And you're also reaching out to their humanity and not treating them like a lot of people want to treat them. They're scared of them. They don't want to talk to them. I tell you what, you want to hear some crazy stories and some amazing stories and some sad stories. You go sit down and talk to somebody in the homeless community.
Man.
And the one thing that whenever I talk to people, I always try to lead people with this, when you're talking about homeless people is, hey, you'd be surprised how many families are one paycheck away from being homeless. One paycheck. So anytime you can help somebody homeless, don't be jaded with
right.
They're just going to buy booze or drugs, so what?
Right.
It ain't about the money. Just talk to them, find out, because you never know.
There was one story that totally floored me. So we were doing a feeding at the Austin Street Center. One of my one of the police officers on my board, he calls me up. He says, "King, I got the monster." I'm like, "What? The monster?" He's like, "Yeah." And he sends me a picture, and it's this 24-foot long smoker. It's the monster. It's like really cool, right? So he's like, "What are we gonna do with it?" I'm like, "Let's go feed some people."
Let's go feed some people.
So we went to the meat packing plant. We got a bunch of chicken. We got a bunch of different stuff, and we pulled it up in front of the Austin Street Center. And a good friend of mine, his name's Ty Choice. He's one of the directors of the Men of Nehemiah. That's another organization that we've partnered with. Men of Nehemiah is awesome. They take those who have hit rock bottom and they put them through the strict. It's a military style training. But once you're there and you understand it and you get through this program, you're this guy. You're that guy that was sitting.
Yeah, you're committed.
Right. And you've gone through it.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about a story of this one guy who was in there. And this guy is like super doctor, masters and PhDs and all types of crazy degrees, right? I'm like, well,
super intelligent.
Why is he here? He said him and his family were on their way to Louisiana. They got in a car wreck. Everybody died but him.
Oh my gosh.
So he was like, I'm out of here. He just checked out of life.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
He lost his sense of living. His identity, everything, his family was gone.
Right. And so somebody who might see that guy might think, this guy, this loser or whatever,
Doctor.
But this dude will fix you, right?
Wow.
He will fix you up. Like, it's just crazy. So I just learned not to really not judge people. And, you can't judge a book by its cover.
No.
Definitely not.
No.
Yeah.
Here, you'll enjoy this. Somebody was telling me the other day, we were talking about homeless people. I was talking to somebody who had a nonprofit, and this is her story. You'll love this. So she said I was going into the store, and it was a grocery store, and she said, and this homeless guy walks up to her and goes, "Hey, you got $20?" And she listens and she goes, "Well, you're just going to go buy beer?" And he goes, "What are you going in there by?" She goes, "I'm going in to buy beer." So she gave him the $20. And she started laughing. She was like,
dope.
"How could I be a hypocrite? The guy told me he was going to buy beer, but he's right. I was just going to buy beer too." So
great.
it's like we're all humans.
Yeah.
It's okay to help people.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's good.
Isn't that funny? He just called her out on it. She's like, "You're right. Here's the $20." Because she was literally going in to get some
Have
beer.
you seen that? There's a video right now that's going viral on Facebook about this. There's this guy who's walking out of a 7-Eleven, and there's a guy in the truck, right? Yeah, he's got the headphones on. He said, "Man, the guy in the truck asked the dude, "Man, why you don't have you taken a bath?" And, he's asking him about taking a bath. And the homeless dude says, "Man, have you taken a bath?" And he starts to read this guy. He says, "I don't have the luxury of taking a bath just like you. So you see me out here tomorrow, I might have the same thing on, and the next day, and the next day." And he said, "Any more questions?" Dude says, "Go ahead, man." It was crazy, right? Because the homeless dude read him his rights, and rightfully so. So, you just can't, you can't judge a book by its cover. Shouldn't do that.
How did King Ashoka get a start?
I was born.
You're doing lots of things, but how did you get to this point,
I don't know. I often say, and maybe I shouldn't say it, but I say it, and I'm going to say it again. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know exactly what to do. right?
Are you putting one foot in front of the other?
Yeah, I'm just
doing
led,
something,
right? I answer my phone, and I'm there when people need me. I guess sometimes I don't know, maybe to a fault at sometimes, because I think a few people might say that to a fault sometimes, because I neglect other things to make sure that we get to helping, you know? And so I just, like you said, one foot in front of the other, man. You know, I didn't think of S.L.A.P. S.L.A.P thought of me, you know? The universe put that in, and I just had to get it out. So now I just, put one foot in front of the other and find out what it is that needs to be done. And to be quite frank with you, like right now at 6 o'clock, I have another situation. I don't consider myself to be really religious, right? Much more spiritual than religious.
Cool.
Because to me, you know, religion is misused in a lot of different ways these days. I don't know who agrees. If anybody, you know, but you know, it's.
I'm an open book. You can't bug me.
Well,
you know
good,
what I'm
good,
saying? Yeah.
good, because
I'm pretty easy.
Right, because like, you know, a lot of people, in my opinion, they misuse religion and they mislead people at times. So there's a situation going on right now with one of the pastors of a pretty well-known church in Dallas that's been accused of doing some really nasty things to the membership. So, and S.L.A.P also stands for Stop, Listen, and Pray, right? Because it doesn't matter what your religion is, and we're gonna go as far as Catholic, Christian, Baptist, all the way to Satanist. Okay, we're gonna take it all the way there, right? The common denominator of all those things is prayer, right? You pray to whatever deity or God or whoever that you want to pray to. So I think that prayer is important, right? If that's what you really believe. I don't believe in Satan, just so you know. I'm not a Satanist.
You wanted to clarify that.
I want to clarify
after you
that.
said it, you was like, I better clarify
right.
that.
I'm not a Satanist, right?
Okay.
I believe in God, and I believe in good. I believe in God and good. And so if you're outside of those things, you know, I might have a problem with you, and, you know, depending what level of problem that is, but the abuse allegations and things like that. So on my board of directors, there's a lady by the name of Deborah Nixon Bowles, and her organization is called Women Call Moses, and they focus on the eradication of domestic violence.
Okay, I like it.
Right, and you know, when a victim comes out, I'd like to consider myself to be a pretty good judge of character, to be able to understand when somebody's lying, and especially about something that was done to them, right? If that's your truth, and you speak it in a way that it's undeniable, right? Then what do you do about that? Do you do anything about that? If you can, me, yes, I do. If I can help to amplify
You want to
your
affect
voice,
change.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what it's about. If I can help amplify your voice, affect change, and that's what I'm going to do. And so I got to stand with my sisters and my brothers of all race, colors, and creeds to make sure that change is affected the right way. Right? We got to hold people accountable these
And that's
days.
okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I agree with that statement.
Good.
Completely.
Good.
I like accountability.
Good.
You know?
Yeah.
That's interesting. The when you start to think about S.L.A.P, because you do have a bunch of different sides to S.L.A.P, you know. I think when the public watches the interview and they go, okay, so S.L.A.P's doing all these things, right? How do I get involved? You know? So what kind of people do you need, and what kind of resources does S.L.A.P need to be able to go and affect change? You are a nonprofit 501c3.
Correct.
Right? How long have y'all been a nonprofit?
We've been a nonprofit for about about 3 years now.
Okay. So you are working in that space, and if anybody knows anything about nonprofits, non-profit. It ain't about money. It's usually about affecting change.
Yes.
And a lot of what you're doing is about affecting change. You see a problem and you go, okay, who can I get involved? Or somebody brings a problem to you and you go, okay, how can I be the catalyst of change?
Right. Well, just to clarify, so we've been a nonprofit for roughly 3 years now.
Okay.
But the S.L.A.P movement was founded in 2010. And
You've been operating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, it was some of the guys under the bridge who was like, "Hey, man, you can get some money for that." I'm like, "What do you mean? It's not about the money." He was like, "No, you don't understand, man. You could." And he started breaking it all the way down. I'm like, "Oh, wow," and that still didn't register to me then. Mm-hmm. I wasn't a nonprofit shortly thereafter. It took meeting my board of directors and explaining to them what the S.L.A.P movement was about and how we move for them to, one of my police officer, and I keep on saying this, police officers, because S.L.A.P also stands for Support Local Area Police.
I like it.
Right?
Yeah.
Because no matter what you think, the police are important. The police are important, no matter what you think. The police are important. So, and it wasn't until getting all those people in the same place and like explaining the whole concept of S.L.A.P that it was Shannon Lewandowski. I got to shout out her name, Shannon Lewandowski. What's up, Shannon? She put her credit card on the table and was like, "Here, get it done." And I slid it back. And she was like, "No, get it done." And I slid it back again.
She was serious.
And then she slid it back. I was like, and I went and get it done. So yeah, it was.
Now you got a responsibility though, because when people are handing you money, they're committing their resources to put behind what you are out there talking about and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now you got a responsibility, a fiduciary responsibility, to affect change.
Right.
You know?
And so, just as important as the whole homeless issue is, it's also as important to develop some sort of initiative, program, understanding with how we can corral the good cops, right? Because to me, it's not a black thing or a white thing. It's a good versus evil, fear versus not feared. It's a whole dynamic that gets extremely convoluted with the politics and all of this stuff, but it's not that difficult for me. It's just like, are you good or are you bad?
Yeah.
And so right now, one of the things that we're doing
is always bad.
Bad is always bad.
Bad doesn't hide.
No, it doesn't. And
it'll
come out.
Yeah. Good is always good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're developing, I got some of the good ones, and we're developing some of the good officers, a state trooper, a SWAT guy, the good officers. And we're sitting down and we're like putting together some stuff so we can implement change in that arena as well. So, yeah.
Do you use your music still? Are you using your music to help affect change within S.L.A.P? I mean, is that a part of, or are you evolving out of the music part? How does the artist side of you still play into it?
Right. So music became less important to me as the subject matter in the industry kind of changed. I'm not really a big fan of the subject matter that is readily pumped through the airways these days. And, they throw in a good song with some meaning here and there, but it's in me. Like I have a tattoo of a microphone on my arm. It's like, it's part of me, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess having kids and getting older, or let's not say that, becoming more mature.
Yeah, there you go.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's changed my outlook, right?
It's okay. We can say, hey, you got gray in your beard like me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's changed my outlook on what I choose to put out, right? Because I can genuinely say I was a part of the problem. My lyrics were crass and unfriendly and something that I'm not proud of it today, but I'm not sorry that I went down that road, because, I often say, like, you can't teach somebody to get off crack if you haven't been on crack. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't.
You haven't been there.
No, I have not been there. I haven't been on crack, and I'm not a Satanist. Okay.
Once again.
Okay. Let's get this straight. But I do have friends that have been on it.
Yeah.
Ty Choice, the director of Men of Nehemiah, he said he found Christ behind a garbage can, about to light the crack pipe. Right? And he's one of the most well-spoken, eloquent, super dudes ever. Right? And so he can tell somebody what that journey is like, and like speak it with conviction and understand that. So I think I lost the train of thought there, but that's a good point. You can't teach somebody how to get off crack if you haven't been on it, and I'm not on it.
And you're not a Satanist.
Right, and I'm not a Satanist.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's classic.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's fun when you start to unpack somebody like yourself and really start to try to figure out, okay, all the thing that Ashoka is doing right now, you know, and all these different pieces. At the end of the day, really all you're trying to do, kind of like what I do, but you actually do it, all right?
You're doing it.
Nah, my world's a little different, you know?
Let's see.
I'm producing something. I'm trying to help all the people that help all the people. You're the people that is actually helping all the people.
Right,
You know?
I got you.
So I'm just trying to help people find you so that you can get more funding to help more people under the bridge, in Tent City, help the men of Nehemiah, help women of Moses, you know? So it's beyond anything. It's that positivism that you're putting out there, and you're actually out there doing it. A lot of people talk about it, you know? A lot of people, you know, and I always try to explain to people, a lot of people want to help. Everybody wants to help. Most people just don't know what to do, you know? You wake up in the morning, you put one foot in front of the next. If you have no idea what to do, but you want to help somebody, come get involved with King Ashoka. I guarantee you, he can find something that you can do.
He guarantees it.
Yeah. You
I
know?
guarantee it too.
There you go. You know, whether it be passing out hot dogs with the monster barbecue, right? And hanging out with the police and trying to affect change, or helping the women of Moses, or, I mean, you know, it's just not that difficult. You know, if people want to help somebody and they want to go be a part of change and help other humans be better, it's really easy to do if you just get off the couch and go do something.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard work, but it's not difficult.
It's not difficult.
Right.
I say it was easy,
Right.
but it is not difficult.
Yeah.
It's not hard to find you
No.
in the S.L.A.P movement.
It's not. And the beauty of it is like if you have a specific thing that you feel called to, if it's education, if you feel like you want to support us on the educational side of things, there's a S.L.A.P for that, right? Study, learn, and prosper. That's the S.L.A.P movement for the educational side. If it's about health and wellness and making sure your body is right and understanding how to get in tune with that, it's simple life-altering practices. Right?
Okay.
We could all use a few simple life-altering practices. This is a real thing. Look it up. SLAPmovement.org. TheSLAPmovement.org. It's on there for real. Yeah. And so, like, the artistic side of things, obviously support local artists, please. Right? And the life preparation side of things, like these guys right here, I can't wait to get a call from JJ. I remember JJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kid fisherman.
Yeah, the kid fisherman. You know, simple survival, leadership, and preparation. So, you know, we have about 13 different acronyms, and all of them have an initiative attached to them. And so and what we're looking to do is—
You have people working in those different initiatives.
Yes, and what we're looking to do is partner and build bonds with people such as JJ and his dad, so that we can slap them and like really show people what they're doing and help to raise money for them and help, you know, just join networks and really get the positivity going. We got to get it going. And so as the other initiatives, as we gain those unions with the different people, we'll roll those out. At first, I have this grandiose vision, like, right? I'm like, whoa, there it is, let's do it.
I'm so surprised you have a grandiose vision.
And people are like, what is that? I'm like, you don't see this? It's right here. Wait.
It's so simple.
Yeah. And so I had to listen to those people who were like, yo, I see it, but slow down. So I've drawn back, right? Mm-hmm. I had all 13 of the acronyms up there because I know what all of them are and what all the initiatives are. But it's overwhelming at times for people when they see it. It's like, okay. Sure. So I was like, okay, I'll scale it back. So now what we have displayed are the acronyms and the initiatives that have the programs that we can just hit go and just put into play right now with the proper funding.
Well, you got to have resources.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And you got to have manpower.
Exactly.
You got to have humans that want to go out and do the work and execute.
Yes.
And you got to have funding.
Right.
You know, could S.L.A.P use money, more money?
Yes.
Could S.L.A.P use more people to help fund the 13 major initiatives that y'all are working on at any given time?
Yes.
And the programs that come from those initiatives?
Yes.
Okay.
We're looking for really smart people that understand the power of networking and humanity. You know, that's a thing. We gotta understand that we all people, and we all need to S.L.A.P.
You all need to S.L.A.P. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate you coming, and I appreciate your positivity. I've heard about some of your events and all the things that you're trying to accomplish, and I know it takes a lot, because you're out there on the streets doing things, whether it be, just helping the homeless or trying to help people with health and wellness. And, I can imagine people trying to be under you, with your vision, and you looking at them going, we can do this, come on, So if you're out there and you want to get involved with King Ashoka, all of his information will be on the site. You'll be able to get directly to him or whoever will answer the phone in y'all's movement. But we'll be directing traffic to him. We don't take money or anything like that for S.L.A.P. You get involved with them. We're just the conduit to bring them to you so that you can figure out how you want to get involved. And maybe now, are you having S.L.A.P in other cities or anything yet? Has that? Yeah. Or you got so much going on here? Yeah.
So we just came back from California a week before last, and then the next week we were in New Jersey, and then today we were in Kentucky.
Kentucky, right?
Yeah. So we are definitely spreading the word for S.L.A.P. We just now partnered up with a company by the name of Succeed. Which is going to be teaching like a wealth, a generational wealth program.
Wow. Understanding
wills and trusts and how that whole world works. Okay. I'm a student of that myself. Because that's some very important information that a lot of us are not privy to, based on who you know, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So knowledge is power. So get as much of it as you can.
Yeah.
For real.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wealthy people know about this because they already have it, right? And the rest of us just have to try to figure out, okay, what does it mean and how do you use it?
Right.
Because you certainly don't wake up in the morning knowing about wills and trusts.
Right. No, you don't.
You got to go figure it out.
So it's a blessing and an honor to be with Succeed, and I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, if you want to do something and you don't know if you have the skill set to do it, I'm pretty sure King Ashoka can find something for you to do.
I definitely can.
There you go. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming out. Very interesting. It's fun, you're positive. You got so much going on. Keep helping people.
I will.
Just beyond, there are people like me, there are cheerleaders in your corner going, hey, somebody calls me and says, I'm going to be like, you know what? You need to talk to King Ashoka. Yeah. I'm gonna get somebody, and I already thought of somebody there. I got to get headed in your direction.
Good. That network, keep it coming.
You just never know, right?
Yeah.
Everybody just needs that one relationship. Sometimes it makes a difference, and then all of a sudden, hey, some door opens up, and you can affect change, but you got to do something.
Right.
Can't sit on the couch.
Cannot sit on the couch.
All right.
Well, I'm about to go home and sit on the couch.
That's what traveling will do. When you're traveling all over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll be off the couch a little later. But yeah.
Cool. Hey, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it, and keep doing what you're doing, man.
Givingisgood.org.
There we go.
Go there.
There you go.